A wild chase begins. A robber gets carried away with a woman, only to be interrupted by her little boy. The robber, in a panic, knocks the kid flat on his back. The next moment, another accomplice flies in like a soccer player, kicking the robber away. But wait, he tells the kid to pick up the gun. The boy, despite his confusion, raises the pistol as if reliving a scene from a classic American blockbuster. But suddenly, in bursts the neighbor, brandishing a shotgun in his hand. The old man sees everything through the window and bravely charges in, but with the robbers holding 2 hostages, his rescue plan has hit a snag. The old man has to drop his weapon as the robber wants to take the woman, while the other one wants the boy. It's like a sequel to a Halloween movie gone. The robbers easily tie up most of the stuff. It's a kidnap caper. But this whole kidnapping ends up making it an interesting bond between a boy and one of the robbers. The robber is fed up with his temporary partner and decides to split after the escape, especially after all the nonsense he had to deal with. He shoots at the roadside, rooftops resemble umbrellas, and hits the boy on the back of his head. Good intentions backfire. Fed up beyond endurance, the robber turns around and punches the guy, instantly leaving him utterly dumbfounded and completely at a loss. The robber takes this chance to grab back his gun, and they stop at a store where he decides to pick up some essentials. To prevent his partner from attempting any sneaky maneuvers, he deliberately asks the boy to hold the gun and aim it at him, making it seem like they are playing a game of cops and robbers. The man snatches the gun back, but discovers it's empty when he checks the magazine. Talk about an empty-handed move. Realizing he's been played, he decides to take it out on the boy. At the crucial moment, Philip bites the guy's ear. Philip scurries away with the empty gun, hiding in the cornfield while the man frantically chases him. What's Philip up to? Giving up. Luckily it's the good guy, the robber. He tells Philip not to be scared. What a twist. Little does the hapless man know he's about to face a bullet on his happy hunting trip. After a gunshot, the robber emerges and gives Philip a choice. Follow him or go home. What a popular decision. Philip opts for the first choice, thinking maybe the bad guy isn't so bad. On the way, the robber sweetly pops open a soda for him. But Philip remains utterly puzzled, casting a suspicious glance at the boy. Could it be THTRA? The boy's name truly possesses a concealed conscience. The robber says if he had to pick an escape buddy, it would always be Philip, not that other guy. A heartfelt declaration of friendship. Meanwhile, the cops stumble upon the robber's dead accomplice right on time. The robber inquires of Philip whether he has ever traveled in a time machine. Upon seeing him shake his head, he responds with a hint of helplessness. Actually, we're in one right now and I am the captain of this ship. He explains, going forward is the future and going back is the past. What a whimsical gift. Philip looks utterly confused but enjoys the robber's words. Their bond just keeps getting stronger. Moving forward, they are calm. Reaching a path, the robber spots a Ford and tells Philip to find the keys. Eloquently, the keys are right in the ignition. The robber then sneaks off to swipe the farmer's clothes. No son left behind. Suddenly, he realizes his home was robbed of clothes and car gone. What a tragedy. He yells at Philip, who's indisposed, to hurry up. But the farmer's already at the window, grappling for survival. The robber pulls out his gun and Philip, fearing a bloodbath, bites the farmer instead. What a clever idea. The robber just wants to scare him, and listening to them chat feels like a casual hangout. The robber discovers Philip has never met his dad, and they share the same interests. It's like a lost father-son story. We're both handsome, and our dads are jerks. Now, that's truly an invisible and subtle form of competition. The robber recalls how at 8, he accidentally killed a man, who happened to be a bad guy. What an unexpected hero story. But by age 12, his mother died from poison in a brothel. He's never met his dad. A tragic novel right there. His dad, released from prison, cruised in a Ford that day. What a strange reunion. He fell in love with the Ford and a year later pinched one off the street. Little did he know, this was the start of his comeback story. The judge sent him to the harshest juvenile center for what he thought was a petty crime. Welcome to the dark side. After hearing the report, the sheriff says nothing. Meanwhile, the robber stops to buy Philip some pants. What a fashionable dad. Soon, the patrol officers locate them, talk about an uninvited guest. The news is even covering the robber's headline. The store owner quickly recognizes the robber and thinks about calling the cops but decides to let them go. What a surprising turn. After stepping out, the robber sees the patrol officers and, wanting to escape quickly, crashes 2 police cars to smithereens. Meanwhile, Philip secretly grabs a little fairy costume, and the robber gives him a second choice: come join the band. After a long hesitation, Philip still chooses to follow the robber. Truly a father-son adventure. The robber insists that Philip put on the newly bought jeans, but Philip remains frozen in his spot, dreading the thought of being overwhelmed with a torrent of scolding. The robber reassures him, saying not to worry, this is what he calls a legitimate path. Philip refuses to change, recalling mock from old partner. What a dramatic twist. The words give him back his confidence, and they set off again, with the robber teaching him how to read a map. He even teaches him how to greet oncoming cars, talk about being a road expert. But lo and behold, the incoming driver turns out to be the curious sheriff. Screw a shocking collision. Thanks to Philip's little fairy charm, they identify the targets and order the driver to turn around immediately. Unexpected surprises just keep